Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the papers. Then moving on now to Daily Sun. Insecurity, Senate brands situation bleeding wounds. Outrage over massive failure in 2025 UTME results. Drama as court bars Nnamdi Kanu's sister-in-law from court proceedings. Edo Assembly Speaker, local government chairman, others defect to APC. Senate constitutes 18-member committee to oversee emergency rule in Rivers. Police, CSO's petition reps, ICPC over alleged 6 billion naira contract splitting, and Catholic cardinals call for nationwide ceasefire ahead of conclave. Mariam?
Yeah, in security, I have Major General Folusho Oyinlola. He's the commander of Operation Safe Haven, OPSH, and he has decried the influx of large number of cattle into Berkin-Ladi local government area, this Plateau State. So he is also General Officer commanding 3rd Division of the Nigerian Army, Rukubani Jos. And during an engagement with stakeholders in Berkin-Ladi, he said that he must express the concerns of security agencies about recent developments in parts of Berkin-Ladi. There's a growing unease about the influx of large number of cattle into farming communities. While the movement of livestock in Berkin-Ladi and indeed Plateau in general is not unusual, the scale and timing of this new influx raise legitimate security concerns. Unfortunately, this development has already resulted in adverse outcomes, including farm destructions, isolated attacks, and attacks on livestock. The impact of this action on food security, economic stability, and social harmony cannot be overemphasized. He said that he's got deep concerns over the recent killings, of course, that I mentioned earlier when I read the Nation. In the locality, called on the stakeholders to unite and fashion out ways to end the violence. He promised to fish out perpetrators of the heinous crime who would be made to face the full wrath of the law, and so on and so forth. So he is saying that there's a pattern that they're noticing, and it doesn't augur well. It would not augur well for that community. But I'm a bit concerned that the person saying this is the military security agency. Like, uncle, you're telling us so that we, the mortals, what shall we do? You know? So please, let's, although I guess he's just trying to say there's a pattern, and I hope this means that they would work in making sure that they prevent whatever negative outcome this may mean for the communities.
Okay, let me take Nnamdi Kanu's proceedings. So, in the ongoing trial of the the detained leader of IPOB, that's Nnamdi Kanu, the judge placed a ban on Favor Kanu, that's the sister of his brother, Prince Fineboy Kanu, from attending the next 3 court sessions for streaming the proceedings of the court live on her Facebook page. Justice James Omotosho made the order barring Favor from witnessing further proceedings upon finding out that she recorded the court proceedings and published it on her social media platform. She just expressed this belief that she still went ahead to post video online despite her phone being seized during the previous court date for a similar offense. You see, I did not give the order to forfeit that phone. I don't know if she might be a wife to my brother. He added, that's Nnamdi Kanu speaking. Prince Fineboy Kanu replied, she's my wife. Justice Omotosho warned that no one should take actions that could delay the trial, assuring that justice will be done. But is that allowed to record from the, I don't know, it was really wrong, but I don't know.
Yeah,
okay,
so,
any other story?
Yeah, I have a human interest story inside the paper. So Akwa Ibom State Police Command has begun a manhunt for suspected cultists who murdered a middle-aged farmer, Itoro Jimmy Omana, from Odianga NM in Etsim Epo local government area of the state. So sources in the community said the incident occurred last weekend by 10 a.m. when the victim, his wife, and 3 children were asleep. As the killer stormed the compound, they called out the victim outside and started chopping him into pieces. They didn't tell him what he did, no conversation. The widow, was the one who explained to Daily Sun. He said that they just entered the compound. They called out the late husband, shouted his name because he works very hard. He said he came back. He was sleeping at the veranda because the heat was so much inside. When they came in, called him out, and they started chopping him. So as she saw what was happening, she took her 3 children and ran through the back into the bush. It was the next morning. They chopped him and left. They didn't take anything from his house, nothing at all. Like they were sent to come out. Yeah. So it was the next morning where people now, gathered. They found how they scattered his body parts all over the floor. The police had given them, custody to bury him, but they said investigation is ongoing. They're trying to fish out the cultists that did this.
Really sad.
Okay, so I have the jam story. I'm really down with this. They said mass failure.
Calm down.
Mass failure proves
Your daughter did not
anti-malpractice,
fail.
and I don't understand how the mass failure proves that the anti-malpractice measures are working. They said the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, has said the high failure rate in the 2025 Unified JAM examination is clear evidence that the government's anti-malpractice measures are yielding results, especially within the JAM system. He said that amid following JAM release, that showing that out of 1,955,000 candidates who sat for JAM, only about 420,000 scored above 200, meaning more than 78% failed to meet the 200 mark cutout. And then they now said that they also said that the drop in performance reflects a significant decline in examination malpractice due to JAM's tightened security protocols. He said this is a big concern. It's a reflection of exams being done the proper way, and that JAM has been using a computer-based testing system, and that they have implemented strong security measures, and as a result, fraud or cheating has been completely eliminated. And he's saying that as part of a broader reforms, he announced that both the West, that's WAEC, and National Examination Council will begin transitioning to computer-based testing by November 2025, starting with objective papers. And I'm wondering, I'm just worried that...
It may still be the CBT
but
issues.
how will he measure the performance based on
Because that's
failure?
what computer has come to do for us. Computer is supposed to help
So
you make it.
many of the students
So
may
if
not
they passed, if they
have...
had all passed now, he will say that...
Yes,
CBT,
they
computer
will
now.
get there.
You-
I think it's the CBT that is still... A lot of schools have not really
Adjusted.
understood how to use
And
it for their students.
Well,
So
as we know also, this particular year, JAM, there was lots of issues as
Yeah.
well.
Some
So they
people
need to
not log on
tighten
their
it.
Okay,
systems.
Vanguard, final paper for this morning. Insecurity, Nigerians will revolt if action is not taken, says reps. Excuse me, VDM not told why he's being detained, says council. Article to BOT, I'm not leaving PDP. Sule Lamido defends zoning, says it's cure, not curse. Benue Assembly dares National Assembly, says its leadership won't honor invitation. I think that's it on that. So yeah, which story?
yeah, so the Nigerian Governors Spouses Forum. I didn't know we had a Spouses Forum. I'm not inside. Are you inside?
It can't be spelled.
Spouses. I'm not
Nigerian
joking.
government,
Nigerian Governors Spouses Forum.
Yes.
NGSF.
Oh,
Nigerian
governor's
Governors'
wives.
wives.
Okay,
Yeah, those
They didn't want to
spouses
say
is
because
I was
more
already
politically
feeling like I was
correct.
disenfranchised. So I'm not a governor's wife.
Spouses is
Mr. Uche, go and
interesting, why?
contest.
Yeah. It's politically correct.
Yeah.
What if you're a female governor?
Yes,
Thank you for
okay.
clarifying,
So
because I
they
was
have
thinking something
concluded
else.
plans to eradicate preventable childhood diseases through a nationwide campaign on administering the measles, rubella, that's the MR vaccine. So they said they are partnering with the Center for Wellbeing and Integrated Nutrition Solutions, CWINS, in making the campaign successful. Statement by the project team lead at CWINS, Dr. Niola Mabogunje.
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 I know that one.
Said the vaccine was not just a health intervention program, but an investment in keeping the next generation healthy. So she says the agreement signaled a strategic alignment to boost Nigeria's MR vaccine coverage to 95%, a goal seen as both urgent and necessary. According to the public health experts as well, measles and rubella are highly contagious diseases with severe consequences. Measles can lead to pneumonia, encephalitis, that's brain swelling, and even death, while rubella, if contracted during pregnancy, can cause miscarriage or congenital birth defects. So they said understanding the need of the widespread awareness and community involvement, especially in rural and undeserved regions, is what the NGSF has stepped into to fill that particular role. So congratulations to
Any
them.
other story?
Yeah.
There's a story that caught my attention. So the prominent economist and political activist Pat Utomi has inaugurated a shadow government
Okay, please.
composed...
Utomi. Let me do
Utomi.
my own. It's my turn.
Pat Utomi.
Utomi.
You know, that word really feels like a proud Yoruba girl. I said it so
You
confidently.
said it well, yeah, so let me do my
gotcha.
own too. Go
So
ahead.
according to Utomi,
Yes.
the Big Tent Coalition shadow government launched virtually on Monday will actually function as a credible opposition force, highlighting the failures of Bola Tinubu's administration while offering ideas for better governance. In a swift reaction, of course, federal government wasn't going to take that line low. The Minister of Information and National Orientation said at a time when our nation is about to celebrate 26 unbroken years of presidential democracy, the idea of a so-called shadow government is an aberration. He also said that if you're going to do that at all, it has to be within the bounds of proprietary. Nigeria is not a parliamentary system where such a system is allowed, and there is no provision for such in our statute books. So the idea of a shadow government sadly does not pass the test. Bicameral legislation applies, features members of opposition, and it should be right place to contest any meaningful ideas of nation building. So, but we'll see how that opposition, parallel opposition would work. We'll see. Okay, do we have time for any more? That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, move on to our special feature. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.